Hola, fellow geek viewers. It's time for a Jacob Watches. And what did Jacob watch this week? Well, I recommended him to watch the historical drama, the foreign historical drama from Japan, Ran, by famed director Akira Kurosawa. Tell me your thoughts on Ran.
All right, so I think this might be the first Japanese movie I've ever watched. I really liked it actually, and it was a historical drama. It was actually based on King Lear,
King Lear,
right?
yep,
Right.
Shakespeare play.
Yeah.
And there's some elements from Japanese mythology thrown in there. There's a
Yeah.
few things.
But yeah, I really liked this movie actually. It was really different. It was a really different experience for me. You're right. Japanese movies are a lot different from all the other forms of cinema that we have out there.
Yes, and this style is not like unique or unusual. Okay, this is Akira Kurosawa's style. You'll see that if I ever recommend other movies or you watch other movies or even other Japanese directors. It's a little different than American films.
And I have a thing for Japanese settings. I don't know what it is, but like the Japanese tone and settings that they have, and like even in like shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think that might be Chinese. I'm not sure, but Asian settings.
Like The Last Samurai,
yeah,
for example. There's a set that takes place in Japan, and they're pretty good with the costuming in that movie. And that's I've always been interested in Japanese culture and Japanese history. You know, I'm a history buff, trained to be an historian, and this is one that when the periods that I'm really into, the period of feudal Japan, the period of the samurai.
Yeah.
And Akira Kurosawa, like 2/3 of his films are about feudal Japan in the samurai period. So was really had no idea what to expect. What you think about this film, because this is a dense film. This is not like a immediate like fan pleaser like popcorn flick. This is kind of deep. So what did you think as you were watching it?
Okay, well there were a couple scenes where I was like just kind of zoning out, like couldn't really pay attention. But then like the next scene, right after, would like bring me right back in. I would be like, I was like, wow, this is all about the performances in their movie, where it's all about the performances. The guy that plays the old emperor, the king.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
But yeah, he was fantastic in that. He goes crazy.
The scene where he walks down, this is iconic in Japanese films, where he walks down the steep staircase, where the castle's on fire, where his sons have attacked his castle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in that whole scene where they just like muted the sound and everything.
Yep.
They just played the music over it. That was all. That was
so
fantastic.
we should explain this because you might not know what King Lear is. So this is based on Shakespeare's play King Lear, which is the story of, in King Lear, it is a ruler who is now retiring, and he's leaving. He's splitting his kingdom up into three and giving it to, in King Lear, it was his daughters. In this case, his sons, and he tries to impart wisdom into them and say, okay, you should rule this way, help your brothers, blah blah blah. But the sons, of course, that doesn't work too well, and they fight for the territory, and eventually they turn against their father, and shenanigans ensue.
I love the whole color coding thing they have with the sons.
Yep.
The red, yellow, and blue. That was really cool.
This is actually something that actually occurred in that period in history, in samurai history. They would wear these bright, colorful outfits, and they had flags.
Yeah, and
those flags they would wear them.
Yeah, and then they brought them back later in the film when they had their armies with them. Yeah, I really like that. And one of my favorite characters actually is I'm not sure what the name of the character was, but the guy that like played as his fool.
The fool.
The jester.
That's a famous role in King Lear. The fool, is it John Hurt? It played the fool once in a King Lear production. It's been played by a lot of famous actors. It's a classic role.
Yeah, I love when they went deeper into that character when when he was trying to decide why he's staying with this crazy old guy that's slowly losing his mind. It was fantastic. It was a little weird of a movie, I'll say. It had some interesting parts. That there was a part where they went into the guy that, and they find out it was the guy that he gouged his eyes out. That the old guy gouged his eyes out. They go into his house, and I don't know. I felt that meeting of them was really weird because he starts playing the flute and the old guy starts freaking out, and he's like,
This does have some, I wouldn't say mystical elements, but there's like a little weirdness going on because this is not quite a straight historical drama because it doesn't actually take place in Japan proper, really, but it's basically in Japan. It's basically in the Sengoku period, the age of the warring samurais, where they're all at each other's throats. Basically, that's That's where most of Akira Kurosawa samurai films take place in, and he copied that aesthetic for this.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts, or one of my favorite characters, was the woman whose husband died, then she went on to the next son.
Oh, Lady Cade or something.
Yeah, yeah.
She's vicious.
Yeah,
she's ruthless.
I loved her character. That scene where she goes in and like first like threatens the son, then seduces him. That was crazy. That was awesome. And then
she was the one pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Because the son was like, eh.
Yeah. It starts off where you're thinking like the sons are the villains of this film, but it turns out that there's other people in the background that are really messing everything up. And yeah, I really liked her character. I really liked the old guy's performances. So overall, I really like this movie. It was definitely different from what I've seen before and what you've recommended to me before, but I definitely recommend this for anyone who likes historical dramas, stuff like that, Japanese films. Yeah, I really like this movie.
Have you thought about what you're gonna have me watch next?
Yes. Ooh. Okay, this is totally different from what we've been talking about for the past 5 minutes or so, but I'm recommending my own form of a classic, Fight Club.
The Fight Club. Many people have recommended this to me, and now I'm going to have to watch it for you fans, for the geek fans out there. So next time, stay tuned for Shane Watches Fight Club. But this has been Jacob Deshills and Shane Goodrich. Catch you later on Geeks at the Movies.